What is going on, IK fam? BN, I'm back again today for another Dope Sauce Infinity Kingdom video. Man, I'm pretty excited right now, man. The hype is going to get slightly real, depending on how non-creepy we're going to keep it. So, before we dive in, right, I want to talk about at least one big update change from the Pioneer server. This is on the upcoming version 1.2 update that, at least from what we've seen, there hasn't been a system mail yet. There hasn't been any patch notes released, so this is really just a teaser feature right now. But as always, before we jump into it, guys, if you enjoyed the content, sub to the channel, hit the like button on the video, make sure you hit that notification bell to get updates on when new videos are coming out. As always, in the description down below, you can find official Infinity Kingdom resources, along with, if you want to check the game out and download it, at the top of the description, you'll find a creator link that helps support us. And, of course, the game, because more people will start getting into it, which we're always excited about. So, what is the big update that we have coming out right now, or at least that's being teased to us in the version 1.2. So you can see right now I'm on the Pioneer server, as it says Pioneer Test up here. We just updated it to 1.2, and just to show you, there hasn't been any system mails yet. Now, you can see from 28 days ago, this was the last update compensation they did, right? So they came out with like a quick, shortened summary, and they still might. We just haven't seen one come out yet. I know I asked someone in the IK chat, I had mentioned that, you know, this is something that we saw, but no one had taken any screenshots when being asked about it. So, with that in mind, I've only seen what some people have mentioned in the IK official Discord about some of the new updates. So this is something that I'm actually pretty excited to talk about. So at the moment, right, we have World Heart, and from just looking around, I haven't seen anything new yet. The only thing I've seen some people talk about is just some of the changes we have here to King. So you can see there's a nice little new icon that they have, in addition to a new interface. So this is pretty cool. Now, we'll go through this one by one. King is still the same from what we've seen. Now, in-throne requirements, this is new, right? They added a nice little tooltip here to go over what some of those options are. Now, which is nice because it tells you what some of the prerequisites are too as well. Then we have the official position. This is similar, but you'll notice there's some newly added titles or positions, right? So the same thing, Prime Minister, right? You have the same things at the top. Nothing has changed here. You still have 5, but now we have, what, it seems like 6? Oh, no, it is 5. So dwelling production speed decreased by 20%, right? So now we have like some debuff position titles, right? So you can give out to those troublemakers. Shout out to you, Bad Warrior. I love you, bro. And so Clown, which is gathering speed decreased by 20%. Herdman, which is not assigned. Let me see. Marching speed decreased by 20%. Wow, that's pretty intense, man. Like, gold is such a big thing in Infinity Kingdom. As we know, it's a finite resource. So, you know, handing out this debuff for your dwelling, especially if you're, you know, any form free-to-play to high spend, you know, it's still a big one. Gathering speed decreased by 20%. I mean, gosh, that's crucial. Territory resource production decreased by 20%. Building upgrade speed decreased by 10%. Man, I mean, again, it's nice. I like that they're adding in some of the debuff. I like how they have this little clown avatar behind it. Man, this is pretty cool. I mean, again, right, we're just getting some teasers right now, but this is nice. Rewards. Damn, this is pretty intense right now. So this is something that, you know, we've talked about in our previous suggestion video about them adding some new things, other buffs and debuffs, as far as in our round 1 feedback that we did. And this is cool to see them adding something. Now, I don't know if we mentioned about the chests or not, but just the fact that they're adding something new, and it looks like they have 5 of these, right? And it looks like King can dish these out. So if you click allocate, you'll see only King can allocate rewards. So I don't know if these are just going to be free rewards that they'll be able to give out, but man, some of these are awesome. Right now, you can really start showing love for your high contribution players, people that are doing work not only inside of the game, but like, let's say you have a server where you have people that are helping manage events. Maybe they're helping you send out alliance mails. Maybe they are organizing community events in game, right? Maybe they're really taking charge to do things like Alliance versus Alliance events and organizing those. Maybe there's someone who's constantly promoting via your world chat and your kingdom chat in game, right? Sending out promo messages for upcoming events to make sure that people are aware of what's going on in the server. Of course, we're still hoping for that King's Mail. Now, I don't know if that's something that it has been put in. It doesn't look like it, but again, and I'm sure we'll probably mention that again, but that to me is going to be the next big touch to what a king is able to do. So, but still, some of the rewards you see here, right? 500 gems, gift of warriors that you can dish these out, a bunch of speed ups, great RSS packs, and it looks like it's just diminishing returns, right, as you kind of go down. But still, the fact that you can give, I mean, let's see, what is this, 21, 28, 33, 36 gifts altogether, and maybe there's a timer on how quick you can give those, but still, you know, that's awesome. Hopefully, you can give these gifts out to members of your kingdom and not just members of your alliance. Don't get me wrong, it's still a win regardless, right? But hopefully the king will have an opportunity to give out gifts to more than just the alliance, right, that wins. Though, that's probably going to be the case. Now, I want to point out there's two more unseen things here, right? So I'm hoping this is going to be like server mail, right? Even if it's something simple, like just let us send a mail to every player on the server, make my day, right? And that will be, in my opinion, right, like the next big finishing touch, and I'll just be excited. So now, let's go to the next one. Orders are still the same. Nothing has changed here. Right, you have, what do we have? Warhorn, right, increases damage by 5% when when a lord from your kingdom is fighting areas, right? Bounty Hunt, which is lords from your kingdom will deal 5% more damage to gnomes. When a lord from your kingdom is collecting resources in areas occupied by your kingdom, they will not lose. Gather resources defeated. Quick recruit in areas occupied by your kingdom increases training speed by 50% when total troops in your kingdom is less than 30. Right, so again, just some other basic orders. Now, migration, here's the other thing. Wow! Okay. Now, again, this is something that we strongly suggested and left feedback on in our round 1 video. I am so excited that they added a migration condition settings, right, which is basically a cap limit, a migration cap limit that you can set at, right? Now, I love how they added in not limited, right? Which means if you want to bring in someone over 2 mil, you can. I also like how they added in the 1, the 1.5, and the 2 mil, right? And then the not limited. So I think these are 4 great ways to start the server at, right? Like because they initially started it at 1 mil, they obviously didn't want to give that up, right? And I think that's fine as a threshold to keep. I actually think these 4 options that everyone's getting is fantastic. I also like how there's a note here which says king resignation will not affect above settings. This means that now you'll have opportunities of, like, let's say you want to rotate king, for example, right, in the winning alliance, right? So if you want to do like a rotation with your officers or other people that want to help out in managing king, right? Again, especially for your off hours, right? This is a big thing that I think is a great little note that they've added in there, which hints at some awesome benefits. Right, so this is a big win, I think, for IK, because it also helps on a few different fronts. When it comes to like server invasions, right, this is something we've mentioned before, where you'll have some players that have talked about, oh, well, we're going to go into this server when it hits 90 days, and you have to consider that, right? All the old players that have been playing in older servers, they've already probably farmed space teleports, or they're still farming it, and they will eventually be at a point where they will have enough space teleports, and then however many of them will, right, where they could potentially go into a server and do that. So the fact that they've added a migration limit now completely nullifies that. Now you have to do some diplomacy. Now you actually have to reach out to people. You have to talk to them. You have to see if they're going to be a good fit, right? You have to decide if you want to open the cap to let people in or not. So again, this is a fantastic win for Infinity Kingdom. And again, continuing steps, even though it's a small tease, still amazing steps in the right direction. Now, let's talk about Kingdom Log. So now there's a Kingdom Log, right? But again, there's no previous kings here on the Pioneer server. Then the last one we're going to talk about is Kingdom Declaration. So this is very similar to your Alliance Declaration, right? So on your Alliance announcement board, you have 2 sets. You have Declaration, which is the public view. So as an example, if I was to go into Alliances and I clicked Oh gosh, I can't even do that. Oh, hang on, we got to do it the old-fashioned way. So we'll go here into rankings, or oh man, I can't because I can't even look at other rankings. Anyways, okay. So you'll just notice here, when I go into Alliance, the first thing that comes up with this is the notice board. This is your internal Alliance announcement board, which is titled as Notice. The public board, which if you go on the rankings here, or the other, or sorry, not here, but if you go to rankings and you click on, and if I was able to click here, sadly I'm not Lord level 10 yet, I'm so close, sure. But if you do that, then you'll actually be viewing the declaration board, which is the public side of your Alliance announcement board, right? So this is awesome, right? It is still, in my opinion, I think, a big win, right? That now players can... Now, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work where people actually have to click on the heart, then they'll have to click on this, and then they'll have to go to declaration, right? I mean, if that's the case, it's too many steps, right? But it is still a positive because you're allowing for players to see a public notice, but at the same time, you can do this from any of your alliances as well. Right? So it's not a big change. Again, I still take it as a win, but I just look at it as a small win, right? Because depending on how many clicks you have to do to get here, most players are probably not going to do that. So, again, even though I like the idea, I still take it as a small win. What I'm really looking for, right, and I really want to hammer this home, right, because, again, this is just a teaser at some of the new updates, is Kingsmail. Right? I really want to see a Kingsmail or an opportunity for us to be able to message every player on the server. And if you want to create two versions where you do like a faction mail, which is just for your kingdom, blue, red, or green, and then also a server-wide mail, I mean, that would be cool too. That's fine too. But at bare minimum, we need to be able to message the entire server, right? I need to message every player on the server because it's going to help your server organize. It's going to help prep for things like your Contention of Relics events. It's going to help prep for your Contention of Lords or your kill event. Eventually, when SVS comes out, it really cannot be underestimated how valuable it is to message. It also helps with server retention. So like, let's say you have a new server that's coming out and everyone's loading into that server. Being able to message everyone after the first Contention of Relics hits, or trying to speed through your Chronicles to start Contention of Relics round 1 as fast as possible so you can get access to Kingsmail as soon as possible, cannot be underestimated. Right? The sooner you're able to message everyone on the server and let everyone know, hey, you have a plan, this is what's happening, that is going to instill confidence and comfortability in players, so therefore they are more likely to stay in your server and you can retain as much activity as possible. The comparison I'll give you is if you look at something like Rock or Rise of Kingdoms, right? You cannot get access to Kingsmail potentially as early as they may eventually do in Infinity Kingdom. That is an extreme win. Right? Because you have to essentially wait until you capture Lost Temple, which in this game is your World Heart, right? And that takes a while to get to before you can then get access. So I think Infinity Kingdom has a fantastic opportunity here, right? If this is a feature that will get added, right? Because it will allow for servers, in my opinion, I think in the long term, to stay more healthy for a longer period of time. Anyways, outside of that, guys, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this teaser video on some of the new features that most likely, hopefully, will hit the updated version, and I'm sure there's going to be more teasers coming out as they kind of trickle some things in. Eventually, when they put those patch notes or send a summarized feature update compensation mail, if they end up doing that, right, we'll probably recover that. But that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this teaser video, and until next time, peace!